Okay, so backtracking. First things first, right? So we put out a message, around 48 hours ago, stating that we needed to do maintenance on the an outage and maintenance on the smart contract. The reason for this is that we found out a bug. And very importantly here, it wasn't an issue, or there were the assets being delegated to the smart contract were never at risk, right? So it wasn't about how Metapool, or if there was a security issue on how we're delegating the near tokens to the 67 validator nodes we're doing it right now. So that was never an issue. The issue was that the smart contract that dictates the price on STNear, we found out that metadata could be changed on it, right? So that means that a bad actor could interact with the smart contract with a third-party platform and basically forge the price on STNear. And that's why our partner platforms froze all pools and vaults and realms on the different DEXs, AMMs, and lending and borrowing platforms. So basically, the platforms that were at risk were mainly our partner platforms. So we immediately contacted them. We set up a war room, and then we coordinated through some of the folks at Nearcore, and we started working on solving the issue. Luckily, we found the bug really quick. We found a fix. We patched it. And then that was sent out into production, right, into mainnet. Other than that, I think it's important to state that collaboration was key here. I understand that sometimes, yes, it's been a sequence of bad news around the new ecosystem, right? Basically around security of the platforms. And sometimes, yes, it ends up in really, really, really bad situations, which is the case of Skyward, which got basically drained. Their main treasury got drained. But anyhow, just wanted to let you know that right now there are no immediate threats in our smart contract. We are going to a third-party audit again, just to be double sure. We had a lot of help from the BlockSec team, which initially did our smart contract review. Two of the smart contract reviews that were done on the liquid staking smart contract, and with that we are confident that we have no issues currently on our smart contracts. But anyhow, Alan, you want to chip in and explain a little bit more? Well, first, are there any questions? Does somebody want to raise their hands and wants to come up and ask any questions? Also, you can use the general chat, right? Let me just point it out. Everyone, if you have any questions, please write them down here. Okay, and so anyhow, so any questions, or does somebody wants to share any concerns as well? Make sure you can freely do so. Okay, if not, then we can continue. Okay, so right now, Alan, all the development team did a great job, right? I first need to give kudos to and praises to the team, to the dev team who was working 100%, 200% on this, right? We have Lucas here also, our PM, right? I was there from when we knew that there was an issue, all the way to now, right? We're monitoring right now. We've done 72-hour monitoring on our platform, right? Just to understand the transactions. But anyhow, we'll go into more details into that. But Alan, would you like to share a little bit on your take on the security issue we found on regarding the metadata?
Yes, I think it's worth to mention what we found on the vulnerabilities. If indeed we never had a risk about the tokens that are currently on the validators that were delegated to the Metapool's smart contract. This is because once that you stake on Metapool, it is delegated to the 67 validators that lock their tokens. And if you want to unlock those tokens, you will need a period of 2 to 5 days to withdraw those tokens back to the Metapool account. So I think that's a security feature that we have, and that allows us to at least think that we are secure on that side. Besides of that, the security issue that we found was that there was a potential risk of metadata being modified on the STNIR side of the smart contract. So for those of you who don't know, we had the value of STNIR, and also we had to indicate the number of decimals that we are running. So this means that if you can change the metadata, you will be able to manipulate the conditions in which STNIR is being shown on the ecosystem. And this is, this was a hard security issue, but with an easy to find solution that we already applied. So at first time that we got the vulnerability that was detected and tested that it was exploitable, we fixed that. So at the same time, I think this even before of this found, we had coordination with all the other platforms of decentralized finance that exist on NEAR and Aurora to be in communication about what we could found. And once that we found, was decided to freeze everything on the ecosystem. As you've seen, even Metapool was frozen in a period of close to 6 hours. And not because we had that vulnerability open during those 6 hours. We patched it at first time, and after applying the patch, we still had to review that everything works fine and there wasn't other security issue related to this. And after this was progressive, we take Metapool back after these 6 hours, and also all the other DeFi platforms unfrozen all the STN related platforms. So yes, I think we find something, but the best was the coordination that we could do with the whole ecosystem to ensure that our community and all the stakeholders related to Metapool, including validators and other parts of the core team of Metapool, were active and secure their assets. So, even today, even if it is Saturday, we still have the Metapool team reviewing and monitoring that everything is fine, just for by protocol, not for any other risk that we had found since like 60 hours before. That was the only thing we found, and right now we are still monitoring, and just for ensuring that everything is fine. And at the moment, I can report that everything has been going smoothly since the patch.
Thank you very much, Alan. Really appreciate it. So yeah, so and I reckon this AMA, it is an AMA, right? So if anybody has a question or has something to comment, please do raise your hand, and do be mindful. Just be respectful of everyone here in the room. But anyhow, one of the other important things and a shout out that we have to give is to our partners, right? The Borrow Cash team, Bastion, Origami, right? Trisolaris, of course, the Ref team. Everybody did like an excellent job in supporting us through this process, right? There's also the maybe your question here is like, and this is something we like to get your feedback on, right? We decided we found out about the issue, we solved it, we pushed it on mainnet, and then we kind of closed everything, right? We did that just for us to be safe, that there were no other bugs, and and to give us enough time to review the code and look into under the hood, right? We did not want to just patch it up and go about our business, right? We take security very seriously, and this is something that we want all of you to know, right? Because we always will put near token holders front and center of everything we do. So for us, and this was we discussed with a couple of security firms outside of BlockSec as well, and some of them said, yeah, well, rather that just to block it and for people to feel a little bit insecure, right, what's happening, than to be exposed to losing all our assets, right? And in this case was not our assets directly, right? It was our partners' assets, right? So for example, in Borrow, people can go in and then get more USDC for less ST-near, right? And so the affected platforms were basically our partner platforms, not us directly, right? And so you do have to understand that right now ST-near is empowering around 30%, 35% of all DeFi TVL. So we have responsibility not only to you, but also to the ecosystem as well, right? So this is we take security very, very, very seriously, and more importantly, we take care of our ecosystem, of our users' assets, and also the assets from our partners, right? So, and I know maybe this could have, you might have felt a little bit of a time there where things were not clear. Please pass on the feedback on how we can best communicate this. We tried the best we can. And to be honest, it's just no amount of preparation can prepare you for having this issue. When it races, like it's all hands on deck, right? Everybody tries to move fast and swiftly and get things done. But still, we recognize that our way of communicating was not the best. And that's why we're doing an AMA right now, right? It's just, if you have a chance and you want to speak up or you want to write something, please do so. And so we have just one question. You want to go? Okay. Yeah. So we do have one question. Here's from Cibeles from our team. And team members, also team, if you have questions, just post them here, right? I think it's having an open discussion. I think that's vital for the community to understand that there was also things inside the team where we had questions, right? So the biggest challenge for the team definitely is what are the steps we needed to take in order to reduce the amount of risk, right? And so we were thinking, okay, so we first freeze all the funds and we freeze all the pools and the vaults, and then we patched, or do we do it before, right? And so we decided to do it before locking everything up. In that case, if we had found out another bug, then we had at least a couple of hours to clear up, and also a couple of hours for us to also communicate more information, right? And so in that sense, I think the team did a really great job with the amount of information we got and the resources we have as well, right? We're still a small team, and we also understood quite clearly that, yes, remote has its perks, but it also has its challenges, right? For example, right now, me and myself, me and myself. What an oxymoron. Sorry, guys, I have not had too much sleep this couple of days. So Lucio and myself, for example, and Clara, and our operations manager, we are in European time zone. Normally, Lucio and myself, we're in Central Standard Time, but for this event, or this events that are happening in Lisbon, we're in European time zone, right? So it's a little bit difficult sometimes to get a hold of people, right? And more importantly, in this case, our head of engineering, right, or head of architecture, Lucio. and just get his 2 cents. But we luckily did that quite fast, and I'm really happy with the outcome. But I don't know if there's any more questions that you got there.
I'd like
yes.
to. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, Francisco. Yeah, I'm on top of the general chat. After this, I'll do your question, Wyatt.
No worries.
So after 1 year on mainnet, why was this bug found, right? And this is very important. We had all our focus or all the security audits that we got have always been focused on how we delegate NEAR on the liquid staking smart contract. That it's not possible for that to be compromised, for those funds to be compromised. And let me take 2 steps back. Even in the case that the main contract is compromised, the only available liquidity for them to the only NEAR for them to make liquid is what's in the liquidity swap pool. And that will mean that both yes, and so that's a cap that we have. The rest of the delegation will have to be done through a delayed on stake, which takes 3 to 5 hours. 3 to 5 days, which by then will give us enough time for us to really come up with a solution for it. And so anyhow, so it's been, and that's why that bug was not found, right? Because the smart contract that's dictating the senior price, and at that time, for example, very important, we did not have, there were only one partner for Metapool, which was Ref Finance. And so later this year, Borrow came in. Then the other one that we did was we ported all of our assets to Aurora, to the EVM compatible network. And so there, it is a very slow process as they want to drain. Like the liquid staking smart contract, it runs directly on NEAR. It doesn't run directly on the EVM chain, Aurora. So there was, it was not something that we thought was gonna be an issue, right? But then again, like, this is the learning right now for us, right? It is, the devil is in the details, and you have to be mindful that you have to review all endpoints that could affect our partners, right? And now that we have a large more partners that we're servicing, then this creates that we should have looked into it, right? Mid-year, we could have done it, but anyhow.
I think there is a big lesson on that. That 1 year and 4 months ago, NEAR ecosystem was in early stage. Even now, it's in an early stage, but we are not anymore single island. So we are all connected to what happened to a platform, and DeFi can affect others. So I think this was part of the big lesson. We need, and as it happened this time, to have very well coordination about what somebody is doing that could be affecting other parts of the ecosystem, because now we need to have a panoramic vision over what is being developed on DeFi for new protocol. So as in this case, maybe all our funds were secure, but it doesn't mean that the funds of somebody else was secure too. So I think that's part of the big lesson. We have more players, we have more code, we have more platforms, and also we will have surely more security issues related to new players and new things that will be developed on the coming years and months. So that's what I think at this point for this situation.
Yeah, and if I can maybe add on to what you're saying there a little bit, Alan, and kind of just to put a finer point on the question that Francisco's asking, Because I think it's related to the question that we're addressing in a broader sense, which is, why should you still trust Metapool, if we found a bug after being on mainnet for a year? Like, is that not an indication of negligence or some kind of like not looking? And I think partially, we want to review all endpoints all the time, as is standard and good healthy practice. But another and a really important contextual factor is that bugs are not exploited or known about linearly. There's new things that are discovered all the time that can be deployed in a certain way. And that, mechanism is not immediately clear to auditing firms or hackers even. So when something like this does arise, and there's an incident in the ecosystem, like with what happened with Skyward, the real value, I think, of Metapool's team, even though we're really small, comes from the fact that we recognize that it can, there's potentially something that could affect us, and everybody goes and runs through standard security procedures. And that's, why we caught everything, is because we are paying attention in such a way with the help of our partners, that allows us to be really reactive to anything that comes up. Because over the next years of building Web3 technology, there's going to be hundreds and thousands of more exploits that are found, that can be, deployed easily on old smart contracts, and we're going to continue to update while the technology builds and grows. And we had discussions for an additional audit already in process, and now that's obviously at the top of our agenda to get that finished as soon as we possibly can. But we went with the industry leading standard, and as these things develop, we react to them. So I think the biggest thing, at least from my perspective of seeing how the dev team and how Claudio got everyone organized and moving, was to see that there is that push and that patch that comes back on the second, or after the fact or during the fact, that is a really committed team push. So that's what impressed me about the team and makes me really confident that any further security concerns that arise, I've seen how we address it, and I'm really confident in the steps that we have taken. I don't know if there's any more you wanted to add to that kind of broader question, Claudia, of why should you still trust Metapool? Because I think that's what we want to really make clear, in how we handled this incident. So I don't know if there's anything more you want to add on that specifically, but that was the reason I interrupted you a little bit earlier. So that's my opinion on the matter.
Let's and here is the lesson for everybody, right? Like, crypto is very risky. Let's just be open about this, right? We're alpha beta testing as we go. We try to be as professional as we can with our work and deliver quality work. But then again, software deteriorates through time, right? And it's not that it deteriorates in the sense of of being useless, right? It deteriorates in the sense that, yes, there's going to be things that you did not see when you first launch on mainnet, right? There's a lot of unknown unknowns, and it's very, very difficult for any software to withstand the test of time, right? And so there are things that we didn't oversee. Yeah, we didn't oversee that. For example, Bastion Origami, they actually, first thing first, right? So we launched Metapool, sorry. We launched it, right? And then immediately the next step was, okay, let's set up a pool in Ref, right? And then we set up that pool, and then 2 pairs, right? And it was like that for quite a while, right? Then January, then we started with Trisolaris, right? And that January this year. So that's 9 months ago, right? 10 months ago, sorry. So it's not something. We work and collaborate at a blistering pace. And there's always going to be things that you cannot oversee, right? Then again, you also have to deliver when it's time to deliver, right? And this is where the development team really step up to the bat, right? And delivered. So you will. Oh yeah, all good, Alan. And so definitely here is where you need to understand that there's some unknowns. Some of them will come up, but this is for all platforms, right? There's no platform is exempt from this, right? And this is and that's why when Stater got hacked, right, we were supportive of our competitor, right? And you would say, why do you support them? And I was like, well, that could happen to us. And at the end of the day, they are part of the ecosystem as well. And so if something happens to them, that's also looks bad on the whole ecosystem itself, right? And on this is that we prevented something that could have impacted the ecosystem a lot. And I think that's and that hopefully will put everyone in perspective on how seriously we take our job, right? And how seriously we approach every issue or every situation that arises, right? And we try to be as transparent as possible, and put always near token holders front and center, right? So if that really is enough for you to trust us, right? And also very importantly, we're quite open, right? It's like Claudio, Lucio, myself, right? We're not anonymous or pseudo anonymous, right? So we're pretty out in the open of who we are, what we do, and so I think that's another thing that really puts everything in perspective, and hopefully will give confidence and will build this trustful relationship between us and our.
You cut out again there.
We are here to make near protocol. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, gals. Can you hear me now, or is it still cutting out?
You're all good. It's just like for whatever reason,
Yes, you're back.
Drops off for 10 seconds and then you come back in. So. I can't hear you if you're speaking now, Claudia.
I'll try to change the theatering here, and I'll come back again.
Yeah. No worries.
So you want to take that question, Alan? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, I think that the most important things beside Metapolis is that we have a strong team that is instantly activated all protocols required for a situation of this, and was actively looking and contacting partners and collaborating with other people to make the platform secure. So I think it's worth to mention that there is no unhackable system on the world or protocol or the app. Everything is hackable at some point. Just it is those platforms that are still not hacked. So what it needs to be done in these cases, have a team that is prepared, that is active, and and have the enough tools to start monitoring, controlling, reviewing, and for last patch all the security issues that could be related to this. Yes, we are still in a small team, but it has enough capacity to handle all to handle the situation. This was like a stress test for our team of how well can we develop under this situation, and I think that it was good enough until this point. Hope it keeps this way on the coming months and years of work. So I think that's how can I share. Our team is public, and we can still be collaborating. As mentioned, we also are open. We in the past even had people that supported, and we heard them about possible security issues that were on the platform. And in past months, I remember there was contribution from community, and we were always open to hear and verify that those were real security issues. So we're open, we're here, and we try to do the best every time that it's required for keep the platform secure for everybody.
Yeah, and I think, Alan, what you're saying is really clearly it's about how you react to these situations. And our team knows that, and that's evident in the other security processes that we have that I want to highlight, which are the beta testing program that we have open. You can join it on our Discord. And the fact that we're entering into a second audit, also the internal review that our dev team does. So there's like a lot of security processes, and like Claudio said, the fact that we built protection directly onto the fund side of our contract, that shows that we really understand that putting the community safety first is key. And then if anything comes that may may jeopardize it, your reaction is critical. And I think we're trying to ask the community right now, how can we react better for you from the side of letting you know, as well as the technical side, because our technical team has done, an amazing job. And I think that's what Alan is making clear, but it's, we want to know what you need to know from us and how we handle this as well. So any of that feedback is really appreciated.
Yes, it's worth to mention. We also, all these are preventive. We have the development and the review from development team inside of Metapol. After that, we have beta testing process under an open call to any member of the community to review and test the new products that we are launching. Even this last Friday, we finished the beta testing of MetaBoot staking, and it was open for anybody. And also, there was a payment for people that contribute with good tests on that. And even after beta testing, we have active the book bounty program. If you find critical books on the smart contracts of Metapool that can put on risk the funds, we have a bounty there, so anybody can claim if they give enough information to test and confirm that security issue. And there is also other levels of bounties that you can claim, but that's always open for everybody. All this is preventive, and also we already talked of what was corrective. Once that all these programs wasn't enough for funding a vulnerability, we have the preventive actions, as we mentioned. We have contact with community, with partners that can block all the funds. We can protect the delegated tokens being on the validators, and we also have the technical capacity to apply a patch in a short amount of time so everybody can be secure. Yeah, there is a lot of work behind having a security team. I think that's an advantage on our side. There is still work to be done, but I think we are doing what was required to do at this point. And well, we have it, preventive, corrective. We are still there talking with you with all with the fund safe at this point on this AMA. So we also are open to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a community effort, right? So and this is very important. So the reason we built Metapool is for the protocol to be community owned. And this has not changed and will never change. And I think that's kind of like the vision that we have for it, right? And that's how we got early support from the community as well, because our commitment is this is not to be a company, right? This is not going to be but don't be mistaken by it, right? The protocol itself does have to be profitable, right, in order for the protocol to operate. So right now, of course, we're price action on Near is not helping for sure. That was a whole nother story coming January, February this year. But then again, like we're builders and we're gonna build products and tools around the protocol in order to make it sustainable. So we're working slowly but surely on this, right? Meta yield is one of it, right? We are getting an audit there as well on the rest of our products, right? On MetaBoat as well. For the moment, at the end of the day, like and this is very important, right? Meta yield, right? All tokens that are there are locked for 12 months, right? So at the end of the day, it's we believe it's not possible for that smart contract to get drained. But then again, we come to this point, right? What is it that we know now that we didn't know 12 months ago, right? And then let's look into what we built 6 months ago, applying that, right? And then it's an iterative process where we're constantly learning, applying new best practices found or learned into the new products. So we're taking a very proactive approach to this, right? Please do join the beta testing groups. There's a bug bounty program, yes, for those white hacks out there that want to help us out, that want to help raise the bar for the Near ecosystem. We're here, right? We definitely are one of the most active protocols on Near ecosystem and Aurora ecosystem. And we do this when we launch products, we do it diligently. And we want to get more activity into the more on-chain activity, right? That's also one of the core vision for Metapool, right? It's making Near more capital efficient. So as more ST-Near is been used, that means that it's been delegated and it's been transacted with. So anyhow, so that's our vision. Nice to see here Sergio as well, Kun, from the dev team here. As you see, there's a lot of our team members are here. I don't know if there's any more questions. I'm seeing here in the general chat. No more questions. So Metapool is open for more audits. Yes, it is open for more audits, right? So we're talking to QuantStamp, we're talking to OtterSec, and we will be getting some new audits under our hood, and just go learn from them as well, right? Second is our bug bounty program, right? We need to push more of that. Actually, to later in a few minutes, there's a get together for Rust developers here in Lisbon, and so yes, definitely we'll be looking out for folks that can help us a hand. Yes, they won't write an audit report, but they can go ahead and definitely hack, right? And I met a couple of folks while in DevCon in Bogota. So definitely I'll be asking for a few favors as well. But anyhow, any insights into after this chapter? Well, there are some good stuff coming in, mainly with the meta staking boat, right? We are allocating, and this is an alpha for everybody at this group. We're allocating 1 million Near from our total delegation to a specific set of node operators or validator nodes. How we're going to be doing this is going to be done through our meta staking boat process. So that's around 15% of our delegation of our TVL is going to be redirected to just maybe 10, 15 validator nodes. Is this going to help decentralization? The reality of it is not going to help decentralization, but it will allow certain validator nodes that are and this is, let me backtrack on this one. We understand that redirecting 15% of our TVL will affect other validator nodes. We do accept this. The thing is that we need to find a business model for the Metapool protocol. And this and part of this is utility for our meta governance token. Right now, as you know, we have not implemented any governance on it. And this is our first step into building governance for the protocol. As you know, the Metapool protocol, its main liquid staking smart contract runs on a DAO. So that means that it's upgradable through token voting. It will be upgradable to token voting. But we do not want to go there right now. First thing is, can we just do this initial step of for the community to dictate where the delegation goes? As we are onboarding, I think it's around 75 or 65 chunk producer nodes into the network, there will be a need for people to get delegation, and we want the community to decide where that delegation goes. And that's why we are going to be redirecting 1 million near to 15, maybe, I'm not going to say 20, but yeah, most likely 15 validator nodes. So they will have, and they can be new validator nodes coming into the network. This is very important, right? And this is helping decentralization. We understand that by removing some of that delegation, there will be some affected validator nodes. We acknowledge this. But then again, we want the community to decide where the delegation goes. We do not want just for the delegation to be just not dumb, but just not really we want the protocol to have a channel for community to dictate what it does. And we believe that redirecting delegation is an important first step. And that's what's coming. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we will get that up and running. And definitely we're really excited about this because this is basically a new, well, not new. I think it's going to be the first time that a protocol will be making decisions based on a community vote. Right now, MetaStaking Vote is the only platform in the Near ecosystem that allows an NEP-141 token, which is a fungible token, to be used as a voting in a voting mechanism. And so we are at the front of what's being built on Near, and more importantly, in how DAOs interact with different protocols. In this case, is the liquid staking smart contract of Metapool. So anyhow, so that's Alan, Wyatt. I don't know if you want to add something. We're coming short to the 1 hour, but just want to be mindful of everyone's time. It is a Saturday, right?
No, I think you put a really fine point on that. I think that explanation is perfect, and I would love to hear some more questions from anyone out in the community. So that, I mean, getting an hour of Claudio's time is a magic trick, even for some of us at the team here with how much he's got going on. So it'd be great to hear anything you have to say before we all hop off.
Well, for closing, I will say that this was one of the first, not the first, maybe one of the first security issues that we found from external sources, but will not be the last. I think it's important to mention that there will be more coming. We don't know when, we don't know at what time, and what impact they will have. But what I can say is that we will have whenever the times come, we will have a team ready as it was this time. We will improve even with the lesson learned from this time our security protocols. Well, we are open to any contributions that the community can make on that sense. So that's all I have to mention at this time.
Yes, sad to say yes. Yes to that. I second that one. It's not going to be the first, and it's not going to be the last. We are at the forefront of innovation here, and I'm not talking like we're building skyrockets or ships, right, or flying to the moon. But at the end of the day, it is at the forefront on how people can leverage their digital assets, and it's no more has been done at least on the Near ecosystem than what Metapool is doing, right? and this is I always say this to the team. Let's be proud of the work we're doing, right, and how we are reacting, how we are communicating. It's not going to be perfect because at the end of the day, I cannot expect perfection, right? It's not possible. We are human, we make mistakes, but I believe that it is important to be transparent, and because we owe it to the community, right? If we want to build a solid foundation for building value for near token holders, transparency should be at the forefront of everything. And so I apologize if we scared some of you guys and gals and we're like, oh, what happened, right? But at the end of the day, we were safeguarding your assets. And this is a problem in Web3, right? Or in crypto specific. It's just sometimes this sort of behaviors are the start of like rug pulls and whatnot. And but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? We also did not want to like steer the bee's nest or the wasp's nest, right? We just wanted to be careful, wanted to be really true of what we were doing. And again, a shout out to the team, right? Mansa, Kuhn, right? Francisco on the communication side, Wyatt, right? Cibeles on the operations side, Lucas on the PM side. Shout out also to Chema, right? Alan right here, that he's with us, right? He was the one that was kind of like putting, being this head of the spear in this initiative as well of getting everything done. So yeah, thank you very much for all the support. Other than that, expect more things from us. This is not stopping us in any way. We will continue to build what we think it's the best protocol for near to be capital efficient and decentralized. So more news on that as well. Stake Wars has ended. Finally, we will get to reveal all the winners. Well, we already know who the winners are, but also the amount of delegation that they will be getting. So hopefully by the end, I'll say hopefully by next year, early January, Near is going to be more decentralized. Right now, we've seen 136, 132 validator nodes. So it's slowly but surely growing. And then we're going to be onboarding around 65 to 75 validator nodes, maybe more. And so really, really excited about this next steps. So anything to wrap up, Wyatt, Alan, and I think we're good to go. And anyone that wants to ask a question, Jose Alfredo, you just came in a little bit late, but anyhow, if you have any question, just raise your hands. Glad to put you here on the stage and ask your questions. If you want to say it in Spanish, no worries. I'll do the translation for you. But other than that, MK, if you have a question, please do come up to the stage if you're keen on asking a question. Pepe as well, you can come up and ask a question, no worries. But anyhow, we're wrapping this up. Wyatt, anything you'd like to comment? Alan?
No, just want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to be here today, and that we will, if there's any more updates to come or any new information that we get, we will share it with the community as quickly as possible. So I just appreciate everyone being here and sticking with us.
No, I want to just to say thank you. Well, let's keep building. This goes forward, and we still have things to do on Metapool.
Yes, that's the right word, right? Let's keep on building, right? And keep on staking as well. Thank you very much for your support. We're going to continue to build some stuff. There are some exciting things we're going to be working on. We cannot disclose at the moment. But yeah, custodial is a big thing. And we managed yesterday to close a very important partnership, very much focused in Latin America. But yeah, really, really excited what's coming, right? So anyhow, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. Stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday wherever you are. Close friends, families, loved ones, better halves, dogs, cats, the telly, your games, whatever you do. Try to disconnect a little bit. We will see you back in the Nearverse on Monday morning, early Monday morning. And yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be at Staking Summit here in Lisbon. And yeah, glad to connect with anybody that's here in Lisbon. If not, then follow our Twitter, or here our Discord or Telegram. We will be making some updates and some interviews as well. So anyhow, thank you very much for the time. Wyatt, Alan, Cibeles, Cristina, Lucas, MK, Sergio, Francisco, Jose Alfredo, Mansa, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate all the effort, all the hard work, and all the support. And see you on Monday, guys and gals. Have a good one. Stay safe. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.